Hey, it's your girl Julie Jameson, interior decorator, helping women of color transform their space to be a true reflection of who they are using their natal and birth chart. Because, like I always say, what better way is there to create a space that you are truly connected with, because it is who you are, right? It is the essence of who you are inside and out. And if you're interested in finally transforming your space to match your vibration, but to do it in a way that is a true reflection of who you are as well, that is a mirror to who you are, and you're ready to work with me, check out how we can work together down below in the description box. So we are continuing this week with the series on decorating your home using your zodiac sign. And this week we're going to be talking about, did you guess already? Did you guess already? Scorpio, which is why I'm wearing all black. Now, whether you really love the qualities of this sign and you're trying to really embody it more and be more in tune with how Scorpios move, whether it's your rising sign like me, I am a Scorpio rising, whether you're a sun Scorpio, a moon, or it's your north or south node, or even if it's you don't have any placements in Scorpio and you're trying, like I said, you just want to embody more of this sign, then keep tuning in. So let's talk a little bit about the qualities of Scorpio. So Scorpio is a water sign, so it's ruled by emotions. The ruling planet of Scorpio is Pluto, but it is also Mars. I tend to tie it in more with Pluto, but it does have a dual planet rulership. So Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, and then Mars, the planet of aggression, it's the planet of the planet of just, it can be tied to anger and ambition and so many other things. We'll get more into the planet Mars when we talk about Aries, but Scorpio is also ruled by Mars. So it can be very tricky because Scorpios are it's a water sign, so it can be an emotional sign, but it can come across very masculine and aggressive because of the relationship that it has with Mars. So sometimes when you're like, I don't know, Scorpios are very intense, because we are intense, because we're very passionate and loyal, and we care deeply about the things that we care about and the people that we care about. So we can come across very intense, but we're really not. We're just very loyal, and it takes a lot for us to trust people. So when we let you in, that's a big thing for us. So we don't trust easily, and we don't let people in easily. So when we do, we are very, we can be a little possessive. I don't like that word possessive, because it could be negative, and it's not. It's just, we're sensitive about our shit. Like Erica Badu says, we are just sensitive about our shit. We're sensitive about the people we love. We're sensitive about the things we love. And I will leave it at that. We are highly intuitive, almost psychic, if not psychic. We read people and environments very well, places. We're those people in the room that know that something's gonna pop off way before it pops off. So we're like scoping for the exit signs. We're leaving the situations before shit hits the fan, because we already know what's gonna happen. So we're like, it's time to go. Meanwhile, 15 minutes later, things have already gone to shit. So we can really see through the bullshit. So small talk is really hard for us, because we're such a deep sign that we love to go deep. We love to uncover layers and peel back the onions and really dive deep into those meaty conversations, into talking about just the topics that we're passionate about. And just, we're not one of those people that are good with networking events, because we're not good at small talk. We're not good at like bullshitting just to bullshit. Like we're good at getting things done, but when it comes to like small talk and like, hey, so what do you do, and things like, we're not good at stuff like that, because we rather have a deep, meaningful conversation. We have very deep set eyes, so we can see right through the bullshit. Like, we're one of those people that we're laying in the corner just watching. We're people watchers, because we're scoping out, seeing what you're about, because we're very much the type that we focus more on your actions than your words. So actions are everything. So we're watching and seeing how you move and seeing how situations unfold, because we're also problem solvers. So we are the type that we like to kind of get ahead of things before they happen. So sometimes people are like, you make me uncomfortable the way that you're looking at me, and it's not on purpose. It's just that we're just checking you out to see what you're about. That's it. We just want to be comfortable around you. So we also like to be in the cut, like in the back, behind the scenes. We don't like to be the center of attention, even though all eyes are always on us, because we tend to come across very mysterious, and things that are mysterious, people want to know about them. So it's like you don't want people to really look at you, but everybody's looking at you. So it's one of those things that is just, you know, it's a balance, if I should say. Scorpio is also a fixed sign, so we are really good at getting things done. So we can literally have tunnel vision and work at a project for hours and hours and days and weeks on end until it's done without a care in the world. So we are that type that we will lose time, like we will lose the sense of time. Like we could be working on a project all day and think that we're working on it for 15 minutes because we're so fixated on it that we're just really just trying to get it done, and we lose track of time like this. So we are very dedicated people, and like I mentioned, we're very passionate people. So we love very hard, which is why it takes a long time for us to let someone in, because we know how loyal and how passionate we can be about our relationships, because we're not the type to have 1,000,001 friends. We are the type to have a very close-knit group of friends, if maybe 1 or 2, 3 maybe. So for you to get into our inner circle is very, very hard. So once you're in there, it's like consider yourself to be special, basically. So as I mentioned, one of the planets that rules Scorpio is Pluto, which is the planet of death and rebirth. And mind you, this is the furthest planet away from the sun. So it is the planet that we really don't know anything about because it's so far away. It is considered to be very dark, very mysterious. It is the planet of the underworld because we don't know much about it. So it is the planet of death, rebirth, transformation. So for a Scorpio person and how it's tied into home decor is we're very comfortable in the death and the rebirth process and the transformation process, even though when we're in it, we're crying and we're going through it and we're all up in our emotions. But we are very comfortable being like being that rising phoenix, right, where you rise from the ashes and you're reborn, or the whole cocoon turns into a butterfly thing. Like we're very comfortable in that space. So how this ties into home decor and what I was getting at is that we are very comfortable in having our home truly be a reflection of the chapter that we are in our life at the moment, because we're constantly transforming and we're constantly going through the birth, the death, and the rebirth process, that our home has to come along with us. It is imperative, because also Scorpio rules the 8th house in astrology, which is the house of mental health and the house of spirituality. So our environment is tied in the most to our mental health. Our environment has to feel good. Our environment has to be a positive aspect to our mental health. And if it's not, it can be very detrimental to us, because our mind goes so deep to places that other signs will never understand, because we are so comfortable being in the underworld. So we will like spiral. So our environment is super important to be a place that makes us feel amazing, and that also tells a story, because we're so deep. We don't do well with surface level design. We don't do well with doing like a copy and paste from designs and Pinterest, or from seeing what other people are doing. Like, for us, it is very, very important for our space to be unique to who we are and to tell a story. So the items in our space really have to tie into who we are as a person and the story that we want to tell to those who walk into our space. Because also another thing about us, because we are so passionate, protective, and just very deep individuals, and we don't let people in easily, we don't just have anybody come into our space. Like, if you are someone that is invited into our home, think of it as a privilege, because we are so protective of our space and who we let in, and because our space really tells the story of who we are. So when you come into our home and you're paying attention and you have a similar deep understanding of what it of really almost going into the underworld and excavating items in a space to really get to know somebody, that is something that you're going to see in a person who wants to truly embody their home to be in the zodiac of Scorpio. So what do I mean by that? I always bring up the whole meaning behind the art piece that you see behind me. I am a lover of hip hop. I grew up in Jamaica, Queens. Because I love hip hop, I love graffiti, I love the culture, I love everything about it. I wanted to really bring in a piece that spoke about that. And also, I wanted to tie in the bamboo earrings in hip hop into the artwork, so I framed it in a bamboo frame. I could have just framed it in any old gold frame or any color gold frame, but I really wanted to tell a story of my upbringing, of my love of hip hop in my space. And to somebody walking in who's not really looking at the details of the space, it's just gonna be like, oh, it's a graffiti print. It may not even go with anything else in the space, but to me it tells a story, and it tells a story to those who come into my space of who I am. And also my husband loves hip hop as well, so it is a translation of who he is as well, and tells a story of our love of hip hop, our love of New York City, where we come from, the culture, the fashion behind hip hop. So for us, it is very important that our space tells a story, and that our space is a reflection of who we are. So Scorpio is that planet that, or I shouldn't say that planet, that sign that is gonna go really, really deep and take decorating to a whole nother level of really getting to know the person that lives in the space. So it's not a surface level design that we are creating, or a space that we want to live in. For us, it is very, very important for the space to tell a story, for the space to be an extension of who we are, for the space to really go deep into the facets of who we are, the things that we love, the colors that we love, the places that we love, the people that we love, the fabrics that we love, the textures that we love, and what is the story that tells. So that is very, very important to a Scorpio, because we are so comfortable going deep. We are so comfortable being in the underworld and really just going where no one else is willing to go. So we are that deep. And so the colors that are associated with Scorpio are burgundy, but I also love to throw in the color black in here, because again, black is tied to death and rebirth. One way to embody this in your space is to create a space that is very moody, because because this sign is so comfortable being in the underworld, being in the darkness, being in almost like a cave, that moody spaces will really speak to the heart of this sign. So what do I mean by moody spaces? I mean by, you're very comfortable painting your walls black. You are very comfortable with very moody lighting and romantic lighting, not anything too bright. You're very comfortable with those jewel tone pink colors, like the forest greens, the burgundies, the blacks, the dark grays, because again, you like to lay in the cut, you like to be behind the scenes, you like to be almost in like your own little world, where people don't really see you, but you're there. So you're very, very comfortable with those aspects of design and colors that others may not gravitate towards, because you're also like the black sheep. You're willing to go to places that tie into design that others won't even touch, because they're just like, I don't know what others will think about that. Where Scorpio is like, I don't care what other people think. This is what I like. It's what makes me happy, you know, because this is my space and I don't just let anybody up in my space anyway. So I don't really care what you think about my space, because my space has to speak to my heart, because we are people with such high emotions, and we are a water sign, like I mentioned. We're very passionate, we're very loyal, so our space needs to mean something to us. I mentioned that this sign is very spiritual. So another way that you can tie in Scorpio into your space is really telling a story about your spirituality, whether it's by the accessories that you bring into your space, whether it's by the colors that you bring into your space, whether it's by the patterns that you bring into your space. Maybe you're someone who's just spiritual and not religious. You can bring in crystals. You could sprinkle those throughout your space. And maybe you want to embody the chakras into your space by using the different colors. Maybe you want to really bring in the root chakra, which is tied to the color red and the color black. You can bring in grounding pieces, anything that reminds you of the earth, anything that is dark in color, such as a dark wood, is a way to bring Scorpio into your space as well. You can bring in the water element into your space to really embody Scorpio. So what do I mean by water? You can bring in an actual art piece of the ocean. You can do a wallpaper that has waves in it, perhaps, to embody the waves of the ocean. You can bring in the color blue that ties into the ocean. You can do it through throw pillows as well that embody the ocean. So those are other ways that you can bring the Scorpio zodiac into your space. So what are some of the things that you want to keep in mind when you want to bring this zodiac into your space, the zodiac of Scorpio? Think about the things that you're ready to release. Think about the things that you're ready to transform. In order to transform something, you have to let go of something, right? So decluttering is another way to embody this sign into your space, because Scorpio doesn't do good with fluff. Scorpio doesn't do with things that don't mean anything to them. So if something no longer serves you, for this sign, it is very important to let go of it. It doesn't want to be weighed down by anything. So letting go of things that no longer serve you, that you no longer use, that no longer fit into the chapter that you are in your life at the moment. Because again, Scorpio is the sign of death and rebirth. So we're constantly going through different chapters in the book of life. So what chapter are you in now, and how can your space support you in the chapter that you're in now? What do I mean by that? Are you someone who just started having a family? Did you just expand your family? So how is your home supporting that new chapter in your life? So do you have a nursery? Have you set up a crib? Do you have a nursing chair? You know, if that's the chapter that you are in your life right now. What if you're in the chapter of your life now where you just got married? So how is your space supporting you and your spouse at the moment? Maybe you used to live on your own and your space was just something of like a single woman, right? And now you're married and your husband has moved in with you. How is your space serving the two of you now? So how is your space serving you in the chapter that you are in your life at the moment? What if you're empty nesters, or your kids are out the house? You've already raised your kids. Now it's just you and your spouse that are left in the house. So now, how are you transforming your space to meet the chapter that you are in your life right now? Maybe the kids' rooms can be turned into an exercise room, or an office, or a meditation room, or maybe a music studio, a yoga studio, whatever it is that you're passionate about now that you are in this new chapter in your life. That's the way that your house is going to serve you as a Scorpio. So it is very important for your house to be in constant transformation of whatever chapter you are in your life at the moment, because this sign is constantly dying, constantly being born again. constantly being transformed. So how is your space supporting you during these chapters of transformation that you're going through in your life? So that is very important for your home to be supporting you through your life's journey, because you're going to be going on so many, and for you to remain sane, because again, Scorpio rules the 8th house in astrology, which is mental health and spirituality. It is very important for your space to be one of the toolboxes, or one of the tools that you keep in your toolbox when it comes to keeping your mental health in check. Because it is important for you to really be able to spend time in a space that speaks to your heart, because you are ruled by water and you're a highly emotional sign, even though you may not come across to it from the get-go to people. In the inside, you can be full of emotions, even though on the outside you have a poker face. And then also, what is the story that you want your home to tell? This is very important for you, because again, a Scorpio is a sign that is not surface level. It is a very deep sign. It is a sign that is not afraid to really go down into like the bottom of the bottom, and really tell a story of who you are as a person, your loves, the things that you love, the things that you like, the things that light you up, the things that you're passionate about, the people that you love, the relationships that you want to show off, right? These things are really, really important to a Scorpio. So what is the story that your home is telling of you? When people walk into your home, what is the play that is being, like, what is the scene that is happening in your living room, right? If you were watching a play on Broadway, like what would the audience be seeing in your space? Like what does the paint color translate to? What does the wallpaper translate to? What does the artwork mean? Like, do you own plants? What does your lighting say about you? What does your rugs say about you? The selection of pillows that you chose, the colors in your space that you chose. Like, what do all these things mean, and what is the story that they're saying about you? What is it about you that you want to share with the world and those who come into your home, who have the privilege of coming into your home? What is it that they're going to see, right? What is the story that they are going to witness when they come into your space? So these things are very, very important to a Scorpio, and to other people, they're probably like, it's not that deep, but it is. It's always that deep, because we're not about the shits. We're not about the BS. We really, really want to have deep, meaningful conversations with people. And if you're not about that life, then it's like, it's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. So those are some of the ways that you can incorporate this sign into your space. And I want to know from you, like, leave a comment below. Tell me, how is it that you're going to start incorporating this sign into your space? Make sure you like this video, share it with all your friends and all those that you know that love astrology and home decor, and keep coming back here for more home decor videos, talking about just home decor, and also tying it into astrology and how it plays into our spaces. Come back for more videos. The next video, if I'm not mistaken, will be Sagittarius. I'm 90% sure it's Sagittarius, but come back for Sagittarius. And again, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this video, if it resonated, and how you were going to incorporate Scorpio into your space. Because why wouldn't you want to incorporate Scorpio into your space? Because we're Scorpios. We're the ones, you know, who really, really know how to decorate a space and how to translate a space to be exactly who we are, because we go that deep into decorating. So I will see you next week, when we will be talking all the things about Sagittarius and how you can incorporate that sign into decorating your home. So I will see you in the next video. Until next time.